I apologize if I'm causing any grief.
No, as long as everybody knows, it's fine. I just want to make sure that everybody got the message. So where are we on Daf Chaf Vav Amud Beis?
I thought, isn't it Chavav?
So on the Mishnah.
Chavav ad Amud Aleph. I thought.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yes, Apayis Ashlishi. So we had already the first Pais was for Trumas Hadeshen, and the second Pais was a big one that 13 Kohanim won in that Pais, and that was the whole Seder of Tamid. Mishochet, Mizorek, Dishin Mizbeach, Apnimi, Dishin Mizbeach, Dishin Amanora, and then all those that was Zocha and taking up the Ivorim, and at the end you had also the Solas and the Chavitin and the Yayin, the Minchas Nesachim together with everyone who took it up till halfway on the Mizbeach. So that was the Pais Hasheni. Now the Mishnah continues, they're supposed to go together 4 Payosos, so now it continues with the third. Apais Ashlishi, Chadashim Miktoris, Bo'ova Fisu. And the third Pais, they announced these 4 words, Chadashim Miktoris, Bo'ova Fisu. Anybody new for the Ktoris means that whoever ever won for the Ktoris cannot come again. You can't ever do the Ktoris again. Only people that never did it before, unless everybody here did it already, they got a chance and they could do it again. But otherwise, if anybody never had a chance, those are the ones who they do the pious. Somebody did it already, he's not invited into this pious. Mashenkin, the first one, Trumas Hadeshen, or the second one about Mishochet, Mizorek, even though a person won once before, he's invited, he's eligible to partake of the lottery again. But by the Ktoris, only people that never did it are invited to come to this pious. I think I was going to say why. And then a Revi, the fourth pious, Hadashim Imishan, and now they want to tell everybody that the next pious is not Dafka for new people. Even people that have had a chance already could come and join the fourth pious. And what was that? Who's going to continue to bring up the Evorim and also the Chavitin, the Yayin, Solas, Chavitin, Yayin, whatever was left halfway by the Mizbeach. So now to bring it up from the Kevesh, from the Ram to the Mizbeach, to put it onto the fire, that's the actual Aktorah. So there was a special pious for that. So we finished the 4 Payasos. The first one is Trumas Hadeshen. The second one was the 13 people that was Zocha in the Avodas HaTamid. And third one was Ktoros. And the fourth one was who's going to continue bringing up the Ivorim from the midway point of the Kevesh until the Mizbeach to be makdir on the Mizbeach. So the obvious question has to be explained, what's Chadashim? Why would they makdir that the Torah should only be by new people? A person never did it twice, always had new people. My time, why would they makdir that only a person who never had a chance to do it should do it? Because it brings wealth. So we wanted to give everybody a chance to become wealthy, to get the bracha of wealth by doing the Ktoros. My time, how come? Where's the source? Where's the source that you see that the Ktoros causes wealth? This is in the brachas, and all the way is in the Parshas V'zos Bracha or the Levi Amar. So it says over there a bracha for Shevet Levi. Yasimu Kutara V'Pecha V'Chalil HaMizbechecha Barech Hashem Chelo. It says that the Levi is the ones who are going to put the Ktoros in your nostrils. That's the avod of the Ktoros. The Shevet Levi means the Kohanim, that they do the Ktoros, and then it says Barech Hashem Chelo. Hashem is going to should bless his strength, his wealth. So therefore you see that there's a bracha for the people to do the Ktoros. Is that the source? Yachi Olanami, not only the Ktoros. Read the whole pasuk. What did it say? Yasimu Kutara V'Pecha V'Chalil HaMizbechecha. Then it says Baruch Hashem Chelo. It says Baruch Hashem Chelo. This bracha, it says on 2 things: the people who do the Ktoros and the people who bring the Khalil HaMizbechecha. Khalil means a korban ola, the korban which is completely burnt. And at that also it says just as much as on Yasimu Ketorah Ba'pecha, it says it also on Chalil HaMizbechecha, Baruch Hashem Chelo, that there's going to be a bracha to the people who do that. So how come they only makbid on the Ktoros that makes wealthy? The Korban Ola also makes people wealthy. Amalei hashchicha halo shchicha. So the words, the translation means this is common, this is not common, means that the Ktoros is not common, you can't get it. It's only a korban tzibur. There's no such thing as a korban yachid. No yachid, no individual can bring Ktoros. Ktoros is only the tzibur. The tzibur brings the Ktoros. So there's no opportunity for somebody to do it. Only if he is zocha to do it, the Ktoros of the tzibur. Mashake in the korban ola, there's many korban ola, and also you can have a nadav. It doesn't have to be dafka the korban tzibur. Anybody that brings a korban ola, even the kohen himself, he wants to bring a korban ola, he could. So if he wants to get that opportunity to do it, he could do it himself. But by the Kartoris, he has an opportunity. Rashi learns that the Gemara seems to be saying that it must be that there's no bracha on the Korban Ola to get rich. Not that if he wants to, he can do it. There's machlokas over here. Taisvis Shalom learns that you could get rich. The Kohen could get rich from bringing a Korban Ola also. Baruch Hashem Chelo is referring to Kol El Mizbechecha, but it's not necessary to be so makbid Chadashim, because if he wants to, let him do it on his own. He can do it. He can get a Korban Ola on his own. But for the Ketores, he can't do it on his own. That's how Taisvis Shalom learns. But Rashi learns that only one of them is giving a bracha. I don't know how Rashi knows for sure that it can't be the brachas going on both. So if it's only one of the two, it must be the one which is not so common. We don't see people being all rich. So it seems that it's more of a specific thing, and it's going to be the Torah, which is not so often. So that's the end of that Gemara. Interesting that the minhag, if everybody knows that the minhag is a sandik, a father gives a sandik only one time to be a sandik of his children, and it's brought down. The source of that custom is brought down in the Ramah in Yerodea, Reish Samachay Allah Yud Aleph. Over there brings down that the minhag from the Maril, that the Torah, that the sandikos also makes rich, and he doesn't bring that the source only because it's maybe compared to a korban, but it doesn't say that like Torah. But he brings that's the source of the minhag, that how come they don't give the same father doesn't give to sandik to be sandik two times, to give other people the chance. But the Gra over there says, first of all, he says that then it should be that a person should never get sandikos from anybody. If a person was a sandik one time, he shouldn't be a sandik two times, and that's no such minhag. It's just that he doesn't get it from the same father, but from different people he does accept sandikos. So that's one kash on the minhag, and also the Gra says we haven't seen any sandik that became rich. we don't see the so we don't see the results. So he says that's not the reason. The Gra argues over there. He says that's not the reason. He brings a different reason, but just to point out, that's where it's they bring down from Mar Gemara in the Yerodei Reish Samachay Sifir Aleph. That's the end of the Gemara, and that's why you say Chadashim L'Torahs.
I thought that being rich, I thought that the sandik becoming rich, excuse me, I thought the sandik becoming rich had to be the sandik for the Mila and also for the brachas. Because that's not necessarily true. Sometimes they give the brachas to somebody else, and so then that dissipates it or something.
Yes, I don't know that. I don't know that to be. Okay. Rashi says that, but the sources that they bring that it's like a korban is the actual mila, and sandik is like the mizbeach that the child is placed on his lap. But fine, the Gemara says that's not the pshat in the whole thing. Okay, fine. The Gemara continues. Once the Gemara brought, this thing is a tangent now. Once the Gemara brought this pasuk about Yasimbu Kutara Ba'pecha V'Chalil Mizbechecha, so it goes back to the beginning of the pasuk, and it said over there Yaru Mishpatecha LiYaakov. That's the beginning of the pasuk. So because of that beginning of the pasuk, the Gemara is going to mention this tangent. You don't find a Talmud Chacham that has the ability to paskin, to be a posek, to be more hara, only if he comes from Shevet Levi or Shevet Yisachar. Those are the two tribes that have to be the Chachamim that are even able to be more hara, to paskin. Where do you see that? Levi, this pasuk, that's where the pasuk says a bracha to Yaakov, that to Shevet Levi, that they're going to be mored. They'll be teaching the laws to Bnei Yisrael. Yom Mishpatach Yaakov. So they're the poskim. And Yisachar, not a pasuk in the Torah, but it's a pasuk in Divrei Hayamim. Tichsiv Bnei Yisachar Yodei Bina Lo Yitim Ladas Mayase Yisrael. That's the pasuk that over there is talking about the Yichos, and it says from Yisachar, those are the people who understand the times, whatever that means. Ladas Mayase Yisrael, to know what Am Yisrael should do. That's also saying more Rava. They know what Am Yisrael is supposed to do. That's the psak. So anybody, a Talmud Chacham who's zocha to paskin to be more Rava is going to be either from Shevet Levi or Shevet Yisachar. The Mar Sakasha Yehuda also, Yehuda Nami, the Chsiv Yehuda Mechokiki, the pasuk in Tehillim that says Yehuda is a lawmaker. Taisha Sakasha could have said it from the pasuk in the Torah also. It says Shevet Yehuda Mechokek Mi Ben Raglav. Taisha Sakasha, but Yehuda is also called a Mechokek. The answer is Asuk Ishmaita Lividochasa Kamein. We're only talking about if they could come to the maskana, they can come to the conclusion, which is the correct conclusion. Hilchasa, the people that think that people do the right halacha. So that seems that even that it's still strange. It seems that Yehuda, even though they do make the chukim, but not necessarily the zocha to do, like Rashi says, kiddas v'halacha, they do the correct halacha. It seems that Yehuda might be mechokik, maybe they make mistakes. That's what it sounds like. But the other ones, Levi and Yisachar, those are the ones who are going to be zocha to make the right halacha. That was a tangent, and it's over. So the first sugi was over. It was about the Ketores gives wealth. That's why they invited only new people to do it, everyone should have a chance to do it. The Korban Ola, maybe, maybe not. That's question Rashi and Taisus Hashanim, if that also has the opportunity, the schus to make somebody wealthy, but we don't have to help anybody out because they can do it on their own. And then the Gemara brought Agav that the pasuk of Yom Mishpatach Yaakov, it's referring to Levi, that they have the ability to paskin, to have psak, and also Yisachar, Yehuda not. New Gemara, back to the halachas of the pious, about the Gorel. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. Our Mishnah told us the whole Seder of 4 payasos in order to know the Seder of the Talmud. But we have to remember that besides Talmud Shachar, they had the whole Seder again in the afternoon to bring a second Talmud. 2 Talmidim, Shnei Talmidim, one is in the morning, one is in the afternoon. So he says that you don't do another pious for the Kohanim who are going to be Zocha to do the Talmud Shabbein Arbaim. Ella, Kohen Shezocha Bo B'Shachar Zocha Bo Arvis. Whoever was Zocha for certain avoda in the morning pious, he gets it again. He does it twice a day. The one who got the Mishochet, Mizorek, so then he does it again. The Shechita of the Korban Talmud, of the Bena of the Shachris, and also Talmud Shabbein Arbaim. And Mizorek, he's also going to do both Rikas. And whatever it says later, whoever's Malay Varm Lakevesh, Rosh Varegel, whatever it is. So whoever was Zocha to get it in the morning also is getting Zocha to get it in the Ben Arbaim. You don't need another pious. The Marsa Kasha that the Brisa says openly that you do it again. Just scroll up over here. Meisvei. Kishem Shem Feisen Shachos Kach Feisen Ben Arbaim. It says beferish that you do a pious twice, just like you did in the morning, you do it again in the afternoon. And it's against Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara answers Kitanya Hibik Torahs. Only Ketores you do again, because that's we said Chadash and Lektoras, that we want only new people to get it. So we don't want the same person who got it in the morning to do it again in the afternoon. Even that we divided, even the same day, we divided into 2 people. But everything else, the rest of the Payis Sheni, that has the whole 13 people, and the Revi, Mimali Barm Lakevesh, that we're going to leave the same in the afternoon as in the morning. Only the Ketores we do again. But tomorrow says the Brisa says not like that. But Tanya, Kishem Shem Feisen Lo. Means in the beginning, the Bryce we said a second ago, it just said Kishem Shem Mephaisen. But this Bryce says one more word, Kishem Shem Mephaisen lo. It has the word lo over there. Just like you are Mephais for it. And it is Galashan is a masculine. Just like you Mephais for it, in the morning, Kach Mephaisen lo Arvis. Also you Mephais for it in the afternoon. And what's it? And they point out, but the Moshe say right away, the issue is because it's masculine and Ketores is feminine. So it shouldn't have, if it meant to Ketores, it shouldn't have said lo. It should have said la. And that means that they made it the pious again, not for the Ketores. They made it for the Talmud. Talmud is masculine. So the Gemara is asking that this Bryce is mash, but they made a pious for the Korban Talmud again in the afternoon, not just for the Ketores. The Gemara says the Gemara is not impressed with that. Okay, Amullah. So change the gears, edit it. The Bryce should read for it, feminine. And it means for the Ketores, that everything in the morning they did again, the same people got this chus to do it in the afternoon again, and just the Ketores, we wanted a new person. For that, you made another pious in the afternoon. The Kasha is the Bryce says beferish not like that. But Tani Kishem Shem Mephaisen lo Shachus Kach Mephaisen lo Arvis, or Kishem Shem Mephaisen lo Shachus Kach Mephaisen lo Arvis. The Bryce goes out of his way to say 2 times both masculine and feminine. That means for the Korban Talmud and for the Ketores. So you can't tell me it means only the Ketores. The Bryce goes out of his way to say for the masculine issue also. It could have spoken it out, but it said lo. It could have said Talmud and Ketores, but it says lo, lo. So what's the kasha? That you see they made a Bryce for the Talmud Shabbein Arbaim also, not only for the Ketores. So it's against Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan said that the same people who got in the morning got in the afternoon, and you didn't make a new pious. That this Bryce that says you make a pious again in the afternoon is only on Shabbos. Why Shabbos different than the rest of the week? Because this was the change of the Mishmar. It means we said that there are 24 Mishmaros. Every week there was a new shift. And when did they change the shift? On Shabbos. And the morning was still the old shift, and the afternoon was the new shift. The changing of the guard, the changing of the shift was in the middle of Shabbos. Wow. So the Korban Talmud Shal Shachar, you have to have a pious for the morning shift because they do the Talmud Shal Shachar. And here, it's not going to be the same people get in the afternoon because they leave already. It's a new shift. So surely on Shabbos you have to have another shift. That's what it says, that you make a pious for the Talmud and for the Ketores on Shabbos, you do it a second time. But on the weekday, you don't do it a second time because it's the same people that are still there and they get the schus to do it a second time. At the end of the Gemara, we finished that Rabbi Yochanan is right, and you only do it once during the weekday. Weekday and it counts for 2 times. You get it for the Talmud Shachar, Talmud Shabbein Arbaim. But the Gemara thought to ask that the Brisa says you do it 2 times. So the Gemara says, according to that Havamin that we thought that you do it again for the afternoon, so there's more than 4 payosos. Why does it say there's only 4 payosos? At Al Abba payosos, there were 8. There were more, and maybe not Chumas Adeshin, but you would have done it again for the Talmud Shabbat Rabbaim. The Mishnah says beferish that there were only 4 payasos. So the Gemara says that wouldn't have been difficult. Ma'asi kula mitzvah for us. So everybody comes in the morning to make all the payasos. The zachi be'shachar zachi, the zachi ba'ar zachi, and they made it ready in that meeting. We said before. Also, we said a couple of pages ago that as long as it's in one meeting, in one sitting, standing, so that's considered one pious. So of course, what the Gemara thought that they made it pious for the afternoon, so they didn't make the pious in the afternoon also. In the morning, they made a pious for the morning and for the afternoon, and they did it in the same sitting. So let's say by the pious Hasheni, they would take a pious Hasheni, and 13 Kohanim would win, and then they in the same sitting they would do another pious for the Talmud Shabbat Rabbaim, and they would find another 13 Kohanim for the afternoon. That's what the Gemara thought. The Gemara says no, it's not true, but the Gemara just explaining what it would have been according to what we thought. So just to point out that after the Gemara is over, Yochanan said that there's only one pious for the whole day, for Talmud Shabbat, Shachar Talmud Shabbat Rabbaim. The Gemara did say a possibility in the Shakla V'Tarya. In the discussion, the Gemara said it is a possibility that the Torah of the afternoon was a different Kohen, but after the Gemara, because Chadashim with Torah, but after the Gemara answered that it's talking about Shabbos, there's no reason to say that anymore. It could be that even though you want a new person, but he does get the schus for the morning and the afternoon. But the Rambam, the Maisa does paskin like that point that the Torah did make a special one for the Torah of the afternoon. That Chadashim with Torah, that it should be a new person, he doesn't even do it 2 times in the same day. That the person who got the Torah in the morning does not get it in the afternoon, and they do a special. So when they did the Paisa Shlishi Chadashim with Torah, they did 2 times. They made 2 rounds, one for the morning Torah and one for the afternoon Torah. But in the Gemara you don't see it. It's not muchach in the Gemara because we said that this halacha that it says you do it twice, it could only be maybe only on Shabbos. But the Rambam I think does paskin that they did another one for the Torah every day also. If that's all good, before we're ready to go further, everyone's fine. So we go further. Haravi Chadashim Im Yishanim. What is that about? The Mishnah said the 4th one was who's going to continue bringing up the Ivarim from the Kevesh to the Mizbech. First they brought it in the second pious, they brought it up halfway from the beginning. They brought it up halfway the Kevesh, and then they brought it from the Kevesh, and the 4th pious, they brought it from the Kevesh up to the Mizbech. I think just to point out that even though it says Ivarim, it doesn't only mean the Ivarim, it also means the Chavit, the Solas, the Yayin, the Chavitin, I think so. Okay, so the Gemara continues now. The Gemara says, this is 2 lines before it spreads. There's a Mishnah in Talmud that says Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov argues on this. He says that it wasn't true. The same people who bought the Evorim or whatever, call it Evorim, and also we said whatever is next, the Solas, Chavit, and Yain, whatever it is, whoever brought it halfway, they're the ones who continued afterwards to bring it also all the way from the midway till the top. Our Mishnah knows that it was different people. That the 4th pious was who's going to continue taking it up the second half. But Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov over there argues and says, no, the same people who brought it up halfway, they're the ones who continue to taking it up the second half also. And according to him, there wasn't this 4th pious. The Gemara is going to ask soon what is going to be the 4th pious. He's also going to agree there were 4 pious. Everybody agrees there were 4. But he holds that this was not the 4th because the same people who got the schus to bring it halfway, they also continue to bring it the rest of the Mizbeach. First, the Gemara wants to know what they're arguing about. What's the svara to argue? Why is it better that it should be the same people or different people? The Rabbanan say, like our Mishnah says, better to use other people because the more people, so it's more honor for the king. The Rovam, with the abundance of the nation, is more glory to the king. So the fact that some people brought it halfway, now we want to give other people a chance to do it. That it should be. They also want to do they also want to serve the king. So it's more honor for Hashem. The Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says no. So the words say in the place of the Shekhinah, it's not derech eretz. Why is that? So Rashi says, here's Rashi, a few lines from the bottom, the fact that they started doing it and they don't continue doing it, so it's like it's a burden upon them. If we say everybody come, a lot of people should do it. But if some people started doing it to stop and then let's other people take over, that looks like a tircha maybe. The fact that they don't want to continue, the fact they're not continuing to do it, it looks maybe like they don't want to continue. It's a burden. That's not derech eretz. So therefore, Elazar ben Yaakov says that it's more honor for Hashem that the same people who did it should continue doing it. So that's a machlokes. So we pass like to Rabbanan that you don't take that consideration. The fact that more people want to do it, that's the honor of the king. It doesn't look like the people who started doing it don't want to continue. But that was the source of the machlokes. If it's better to do it with the same people or with different people. Amar Rava, Lo Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Islay Rabbi Yehuda, Lo Rabbi Yehuda Islay Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. We have 2 opinions that both of them we learned already, and the Gemara says they have to not hold of each other. So Rabbi Elazar said, Rabbi Elazar was the one who argues in our Mishnah, and he says that the same one, there was no the 4th pious didn't make for people new people to take it up the second half. That was argues on our Mishnah. And yesterday, just to scroll back to yesterday's daf, the beginning of Amud Beis, the beginning of Chafei Amud Beis. Over there it says that Rabbi Yehuda said, "Lahaya Pais Lamachta Elakoin Shezacha B'Ktoras Omer Lazesh Imo Zechei Mi B'Machta." The person who got the Ktoras, the person who was Zoch in the Ktoras, he also needs a helper. He needs somebody to help him to get the coals and to come in with him. He carries the Ktoras, and somebody assisted him with the Machta. The Machta is like the fire pan to bring in the coals. So Rabbi Yehuda says there wasn't a special pious for the person who should help him, but whoever was Zoch in the Ktoras says to the person who's next to him, come with me. Like he's the one who's standing next to him. Tosfos says it doesn't have to be Dafkim, it could be anybody that he picked. But the point is that Rabbi Yehuda says there was no pious for the Machta. So what does the Gemara want to say? If you hold to both of these opinions, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, you're missing the fourth pious. I'll just say that a preview doesn't make it short, that the point is, there are four payasos, and for some reason everybody agrees that there were four. I don't know what Tosfos himself says. He doesn't know why. He says maybe some reason. Out of Kabbalah, I don't know. You have to have four payasos. So the Gemara wants to make a cheshbon. Everybody should hold that there should at least be four. So Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, he argues on Mishnah, so there's no fourth. The fourth one was me Malas Eva. He says the same people who brought it up halfway continue. So there's no fourth. So the answer is going to be that he holds that the one who got the Ktoras, the assistant who's going to help him with the Machta, you do make a pious special for that. That's going to be Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. But Rabbi Yehuda said you don't. Rabbi Yehuda said that the one who gets the Ktoras, the one next to him without a pious. So then you're missing a pious. So that's what the Gemara says, that it can't be, Rabbi Yehuda can't hold like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov can't hold like Rabbi Yehuda, because if anybody holds these two opinions, you only have three payasos. If you hold like Rabbi Yehuda, that the Machta doesn't get a special pious, and you hold like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, that bringing up the second half of the Mizbeach doesn't get a pious, so you only have three payasos. It must be that each one argues on the other one. So Rabbi Yehuda, who holds that the Machta didn't get a special pious, will hold like our Mishnah that there was a special pious for who brings it up the second half of the Kevish. And Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, who holds that whoever brought it, there was no special pious to bring up the second half, will hold that there was a special pious for the assistant. So that's what the Gemara says in the bottom. Amar Rav Elazar ben Yaakov Savala Islay Rabbi Yehuda. Well, Rabbi Yehuda is like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov cannot hold like Rabbi Yehuda, and Rabbi Yehuda cannot hold like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Why? If you hold both of them, but you lose payasos. You can have missing a pious. You only can have three payasos. And then the word says, it wouldn't bother me if somebody holds of neither of them. Im b'shkachas tani chamesh, hahu the low Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov or the low Rabbi Yehuda. If you're going to find somebody, a Bryce someplace that says there were five payasos, it wouldn't be difficult. The answer is going to be that he holds like neither of them. He doesn't like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. He holds like our Mishnah that there's another payas for bringing it up from the ramp to the Mizbeach, and he doesn't like Rabbi Yehuda. He holds that there was another payas for bringing for the Machta of the Ktoras. So you have five. It doesn't bother the Gemara that there should be five payasos, but it does bother the Gemara that there should be less than four. So that's why we said that there can't be he hold of both of them, but he could hold of neither of them. So it is possible to, and our Mishnah, the standard is four. So either take out either one. If that's good, so we continue. Next Mishnah. Tamid Karev Betisha Basara Bechadasa B'Shnei Masa Lapachas V'Layosa. The people who are bringing the Evarim to the Mizbeach, either as we said, bringing it to the halfway point, or from the halfway point that are bringing it up. Rashi, that's the point. At one point that Rashi and Tosfos both say, so I'll just speak it out at this point. We'll see later on. There might be those that argue, but when it says in our Mishnah, who the fourth person, the fourth pious, the fourth pious. Me, Malay, Vom, so we said that there were many people who brought it till the halfway point, and then there's a fourth pious who's going to take it from there to the Mizbeach. So very interesting. What would you have thought? How many people are going to get it? You needed 9 people to take it till the halfway point. Mishnah is going to mention it now. Before we had 13, and the Pais Hasheni we had 13. The first 4, not in the count. The first 4 was the Shochet and the Zorek and the Dishon HaMizbeach and the Dishon HaMenorah. Let's put that aside. But after that, it started talking about those who bring up the things to the Mizbeach, halfway point. So it said Rosh Varegel, Shtei Yadayim, all that, and then it said Solas, Chavit, and Yain. Altogether, there's going to be 9 people. It was 13 minus the first 4. You have 9 people. And then it says there's also a goal Revi, the fourth one, who's going to take it from the halfway point to take it all the way up. So how many people you think would be Zoch in there? Would have thought 9. I also would have thought so. 9. But Rashi says, and also Tosfos says, there's one person. One person, eventually, why do that? I don't know. But one person is the one who went back and forth. He went to the halfway point and took up the Rosh Regel and put it on his Mizbech. He gets the bonus. He got the jackpot. He's the one who's marked there everything. Everybody had 9 people to bring it up to halfway point, and then the one who's going to be marked there, he goes back and forth, halfway point to mark there, and he does it again and again. That's not the Pashtus, but that's a Rashi and Taisus Sloan and Nasugya. So there are those that argue, but we'll see it later on. But Rashi says it over here. That's the point of Rashi. If you see in the Rashi in the Bayas by the second narrow line, Chad lahalos mikevesh lamizbeach. Rashi also says one person. Taisus also says that. We'll see Taisus soon. But okay, back to the Mishnah. So now we're talking. So just to keep the Rashi and Taisus, we're talking about the 9 that would have brought it until the halfway point. So the Mishnah says the carbon tamid could be brought to the mizbeach, to the halfway point. Sometimes 9 people, sometimes 10 people, sometimes 11 people, sometimes 12 people. Never less than 9, never more than 12. But never less than 9 and never more than 12. And the Mishnah is going to tell you the whole Seder. Ketzad, Asma B'Tisha, a regular day, standard. Standard is 9 people. We had that already. We had 13 people, and the 13 take away the first 4 because mi shochet mi zorek mi medashin amizbeach mi medashin amano. That's not part of bringing it to the mizbeach. But after that, let's scroll back to the Mishnah where it said the whole Seder. Here it said, Mi Malay Bram Lakevish, that's not. A Rosh Varegel is 1, Shtei Adayim is 2, Okas Varegel is 3, Chazav Agera is 4, Shtei Fanas is 5, Kirbayim is 6, Solus is 7, Chavitin is 8, Yain is 9. That's a standard day. So, and that's what the Gemara means by us when it says, Asmo B'Tisha, that a regular day was 9 people. The Chag, during Sukkot, there's also Nisach HaMayim. Besides Nisach HaYayin, there's also Nisach HaMayim, water libations. So one person is holding about the jug of water. So that's besides everybody else. You have to have also Nisach HaMayim, Nisach HaYayin. So that's a 10th person. You have 10. The next is Ben Arbaim, every day in the afternoon. You have 11 people. Why is that? The regular 9. We could say the regular 9 is the same as the first. We said that it's not special pious. It's the same people. But it's the same people. How many people did you have? 9 people carrying things up to the Mizbeach. But another 2 every afternoon. Why? 2 people, 9 people were the ones who carried the Evorim of the Korban Tamid and also the Solas, Chavit, and Yain. But also you had another 2 logs of wood. So that's a chiddush. We didn't know yet that the Shnei Gizreitzim, besides putting on new logs on the Mizbeach in the morning, there's also Shnei Gizreitzim again in the afternoon. That they put on new logs on the Mizbeach in the afternoon. And here you have 2 Kohanim. In the morning, as we recall, at the beginning of the parak, it said that the one who got the Trumas Hadeshen, they gave him a bonus and he got a package deal. The one who wins Trumas Hadeshen, he also gets Sidam Arocha and Shnei Gizreitzim. He's the one, in order, over there it said that since they're making a pious, people are going to be discouraged. I'm not going to win. How can I win a pious? If it's going to be running, I can run fast. But if it's a pious who says I'm going to win, better sleep a little bit more. So then they encouraged and made a big bonus, a package deal that if you win the Trumas Hadeshen, you also get the opportunity of doing Sidam Arocha and Shnei Gizreitzim. But in the afternoon, they made a pious for it. Not a pious. It was in the line when you had how many people won. So not only 13 people won, the next 2, 14 and 15, they also won the Shnei Gizreitzim. So in the afternoon, when you have going up to the Mizbeach to put things on the halfway point, so it's also going to be going on to the Mizbeach, the actual wood. Here they didn't put the wood on the Mizbeach, on the Kevesh, they put it on the Mizbeach. But you have 2 more people that would take the Shnei Gizreitzim. So that's already 11. Also, the Shabbos B'Chadasa. Another case we have 11 is every Shabbos morning. Again, what did we say so far? Every morning is 9, every afternoon is 11, and Shabbos morning is also 11. Why is that? Who Atzma B'Tisha, the regular Korban Tamid is with 9 people. It's the same as Mishnah before, and that another 2. And Shabbos was when they did the Lechem Apanim. They put the new bread, took out the old bread from last week, and they marked the Bezich Levona, and then they gave out the Lechem Apanim to the Kohanim to eat. So that's the Torah. You have to put the Bezich Levona. A Bazach means like kind of a spoon. That's what the word Bazach is, a kind of a kli that holds the Levona on the Shulchan, and now you mark it onto the Mizbeach. So each Kohen took 1 Bazach. So you had 2 more Kohanim. So besides the regular 9, on Shabbos morning, so to speak, when they had the Gorel and 13 people won, really another 2 won for the Bezich Levona.
We did the Musaf.
The Musaf. So it doesn't say, the Gemara doesn't talk about the Musaf. The Chafetz Chaim, I have it down in the Likutei Halachos, it's the same people who got the Tamid, they also got the Musaf. So the same way that the Gemara said before, the ones who got the morning got also the afternoon, like Rabbi Yochanan said, so they also get the Musaf. It's amazing that you have many Kohanim, But those who win, they win. Wow, one gets the shochet, the korban tamid shachar, tamid ben abayim, and the musaf. And if it's going to be Rosh Chodesh, it's also going to be, let's say, all the shiva kavasim, and one shochet gets everything. One zorik gets everything. All the zrikas. The one who gets the rosh v'regel, he gets all the rosh v'regels. I don't know why it's like that. You might have said that if there's so many korban, give everybody a chance. But the Gemara doesn't say that. So the same person gets it. Here, the Bazicha Lavona, it says that you have that in the line. You don't make a special pious, but in the pious Hasheni, besides the regular 13 people that are Zocha, so on Shabbos, the next two people are also going to be on the Shtei Bazicha Lavona. And then there's the maximum is 12. So far we had a 9, a 10, 2 11s, and now it goes to 12. When is it going to be a 12 maximum? Shabbos Shabbatoch HaChag. Shabbos of Sukkot. Every Sukkot is 7 days. So there's going to be a Shabbos Shabbatoch HaChag. Yadech Tzlocha Shel Mayim. Because in the morning, besides having the 2 of the Bazicha Lavona, which made it already to 11, also there's the Slocha Shel Mayim of the Nisach HaMayim. So it's going to be 12. That's the maximum amount of people that can be Zocha, that not to be Zocha, to be Korev, to be Tamid Korev. It goes together with the Korban Tamid, all these things, the Chavitin and all the Mayim, the Shnei Bazicha Lavona, it goes together with the Korban Tamid. It's a chiddush over here that the Bazicha Lavona don't go together with the Musaf. You might have thought it goes together with the Musaf of Shabbos, but it doesn't. It goes together with the Tamid. Okay, that's the maximum that you can have 12 people bringing the Korban Tamid together with Shnei Bazicha Lavona on Shabbos, and also if it's Sukkot, those to bring a slow official mind. The Gemara continues. Amar Rabbi Abu Yitem Rabbi Bar Choma Yitem Rabbi Yochanan. Even asking Mayim b'Chag El b'Tamid Shal Shachar. So I don't know if anyone would have thought different, but the Gemara considers it a chiddush that Nisach HaMayim was only in the morning. And the libation of every day by Korban Tamid, you have Nisach HaYayin, you have libation of wine, and Sukkot is also Nisach HaMayim. But you might think that Nisach HaMayim would be 2 times a day, both in Tamid Shal Shachar, Tamid Ben Abayim. The whole Seder that it says in the Gemara Sukkah, they went to the Shiloh to bring the water. Now they poured it onto the Mizbeach during the Korban Tamid together simultaneously together with the wine. They also poured one into the wine into one seifel that was on the Mizbeach, and one poured the water, but only by the morning. But in the afternoon, they only did Nisach HaYayin. They didn't do Nisach HaMayim in the afternoon also. What's the raya? Mimai. What's the proof? Tamar Mishnah that they didn't do Nisach HaMayim in the afternoon, only in the morning. The Mishnah found the maximum you can have 12 on Shabbos of Sukkot, because you have lechem the Shtei Bazicha Lavona and also Nisach HaMayim. So besides the regular 9, you have another 3. The Gemara didn't have to go to Sukkot, Shabbos of Sukkot, every day of Sukkot in the afternoon, because in the afternoon you always had Shnei Gizrei Eitzim. Every afternoon was 11 people was Zocha, 11 people were bringing Tamid on the Mizbeach, and you also have the one who's going to be doing Nisach HaMayim, if there's Nisach HaMayim in the afternoon. The fact that the Mishnah didn't find that at 12 only on Shabbos of Sukkot, that means on the weekday of Sukkot you didn't have it. It must be because they didn't do Nisach HaMayim in the afternoon, only in the morning. In the morning they don't have the extra Gizrei Eitzim, but on Shabbos morning you have the Shtei Bazicha Lavona, and that's why on Shabbos morning you could have 12, but in the afternoon you didn't have it. So that's the halacha, that you don't do Nisach HaMayim in the afternoon, only Nisach HaMayim in the afternoon, only in the morning. Rav says he also has another raya to this point from a Mishnah and Sukkah. It says, over there it says, when the person who did the Kohen is doing Nisach HaMayim, so they tell him, raise up your hands, everyone wants to see it. We want to see how you're doing Nisach HaMayim. He's on top of the Mizbeach, and it should go into the bowl that's going to go into the Mizbeach, and they want everyone to make sure that we see it. Why? Because the Tzdukim didn't want to do it, and we don't know who's a Tzduki, and the same way we don't know the Kohen Gadol is a Tzduki sometimes. The Kohen might have been a Tzduki, and what happened? There was a Tzduki who won, he was in the pious, whatever, he won to do Nisach HaMayim, and he didn't want to do Nisach HaMayim, and he was happy that he won it probably because he's going to make sure they don't do it. So he went up to Mizbeach with the water, and then he poured it on his feet. He made as if he was pouring it, and he didn't pour it onto the Mizbeach, he poured it on the ground. And then people saw what happened, what happened, and they stoned him, they pelted him, but they pelted him with the esrogim. Esrogim is in the morning. The fact that esrogim, that means that it was in the morning. So this story happened in the morning. So you see that they did it only in the morning, they didn't do it in the afternoon. The question is, now you do see that it was in the morning. The fact that it's esrogim, you don't have esrogim the whole day. If that is esrogim, that means that they were in the morning. And you see that the Nisach HaMayim was done in the morning, but the Gemara is not saying it's done it was in the morning. It was done in the morning. The issue is that it was not done in the afternoon. How do you see it was not done in the afternoon? So Rashi says because it also wouldn't have told us that it was with esrogim. But what if said they pelted him? What's the difference with what? It wants to tell. It makes it much more dramatic than you do with esrogim. I like the story like that. The kids always like the story like that. But Gemara says it wouldn't have told us that information only was telling you a Chiddush. What's the Chiddush telling you? That it was only in the morning and the afternoon.
I don't understand either, Raya. The foot number one, you can say the same person did in the morning, did in the afternoon, and the slogan, the answer Yisrael, that's where we live all day.
So Dr. Fine is asking that people of Yerushalayim says used to carry it the whole day, so maybe that's the reason why they had it even in the afternoon. So one answer might be that the Gemara over there is mashma, they didn't carry it the whole day mamash. It says they would do it when they went to visit, and then it also talks about when they went to the Beis Medrash, they sent it home. So it's mashma, they didn't carry it anymore. But until they got to the Beis Medrash, then they sent it home and they didn't carry it anymore. Another answer might be that it says kol ha'am. Kol ha'am is everybody, like the whole multitude. The Kiri Yerushalayim wouldn't be everybody. The Tosfos Shoshanim also says something. I don't know what the Tosfos Shoshanim. He asked the kasha. Tosfos Shoshanim, but I didn't get his answer. But these are the two answers that I heard. Either that the Kiri Yerushalayim themselves didn't carry the whole day, or that the fact that it says kol ha'am is mashma everybody. But there is another answer. Ayin Tosfos Shoshanim. So that's the Gemara's proof that it must have happened dafka in the morning, and there is no Nisach Hamayim in the afternoon, as the right from our Mishnah also. Both from the Mishnah and Sukkah, there's a remez over there, and also our Mishnah says Beferish that the only case of time that you have 12 is only Shabbos morning, Shabbos Shabbatoch Chag, and not in the afternoon. The Gemara continues. Tanya, Rav Shimon. Now the Gemara is going back to the point about Shnei Gizreitzim. It says in our Mishnah that in the afternoon you have Shnei Gizreitzim with two kohanim. So there are two chidushim over here to point out. The fact that you do Shnei Gizreitzim in the afternoon, b'chlal is a chiddush. It doesn't say the pasuk. It says, we'll see the pasuk soon. It's going to say. In Parashat Tzav, where it talks about setting up, arranging the wood, it just talks about the morning. It doesn't say to do in the afternoon. That in itself is a chiddush. Also, the chiddush is going to be that in the morning you're allowed to use one kohen. One kohen brought both of those logs, and in the afternoon is going to say that you need two kohanim. That's what it said in our Mishnah. You need two kohanim. So there are 2 points to find out where does it come from. So the Gemara starts. Tanya, how do you know that the afternoon Korban Tamid has to have 2 logs of wood by 2 kohanim? Each kohen carries 1 log. How do you know you need to, how do you know that you need the Shnei Gizreitzim with 2 kohanim? Shenema Baruchu Eitzim. This is the pasuk in Parashas Vayikra. It's not talking about the Korban Tamid. It's talking about a regular Korban Ola. But over there it says Baruchu Eitzim, and the Gemara says it's extra. Of course, there's wood on the mizbeach. This is the pasuk that it says in Parashas Tzav by the regular arranging of the wood every day. It says that you should burn wood on the mizbeach every morning, and that's where you learn out that you're supposed to do Shnei Gizreitzim. It says the next word. It does say Baruch Allah. They take it out. You don't need the next words. Baruch Allah. Over this Baruch Allah ha'olah. It's not talking about arranging the wood. It's talking about arranging the carbon on top of it. So you can take out the next 2 words. It's not. They take it out. It doesn't seem to fit. But the point is that this passage is where it says that you do Shnei Gizreitzim, but it's talking about the morning, and therefore the Gemara says that the passage that says in Vayikra Baruchu Eitzim seems to be extra. We know already that you have wood on the mizbeach from the morning, and that it says in Parashas Tzav. So why does it say again in Parashas Vayikra Baruchu Eitzim? Tenei Inyan the Talmud shel bein arbaim. So that Riboy is come to tell you that you have to do wood again. You have to do wood a second time. The fact that it says it 2 times. One time it says in Parashas Tzav, that's the main point, and it says an extra time in Parashas Vayikra. So it comes to tell you have to do again Talmud shel bein arbaim. And that's to point out that here it says ubi er. That's the Lashon singular, Lashon Yachid. Over there it said Baruchu. The one that we learn out is talking about the afternoon. It says Lashon Rabbim is going to mean 2 kohanim. So that's why in the morning you're allowed to have 1 kohen doing both logs, and in the afternoon you have to have 2 kohanim doing the 2 logs. The how do you know it's talking about 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon? It's true that you have extra pasuk, but maybe it's also coming to say to put more wood in the morning. Maybe both pasuk must talk about the morning, and the pasuk means do it 2 times. First, do 1 kohen should put 2 logs, and then 2 kohanim should put 2 logs. But everything's in the morning. How do you know to learn out that it's an afternoon? The Gemara says in Kain Makra Ubiya Ubiya. Then it should have said the same terminology. It shouldn't have changed the terminology. The fact that it changed it, it means that one is in the morning, one is in the afternoon. If both of them will be the same time, then it should have said the same term. It shouldn't have changed it. Here it says Ubiya, and here it says Baruchu. The fact that it changed terms, that shows that it's 2 different times. There's a Gersa change over here. Rashi, the Bach brings down that Rashi changed the Gersa. So we'll take out, I'll just highlight it, what we're taking out. We're taking out these words. The next, I think about 11 words. We're taking out a lot of words over here. All those words. Take out Take all that out, and Rashi just puts in the word ve'ema. Ve'ema. Let us say, I got it from the box. The box says that. So ve'ema, the navid chad, the navid trey. Maybe the reason why it changes is because it wants to say that one is a one Kohen, one is a two Kohen. I mean, maybe I said it before, and when I said the kasha, maybe I spoke it out already. But the Gemara says you can't say that's the same thing to do it twice at the same time. That's what the Gemara said before. The Gemara said avid vader avid, maybe do it two times. The Gemara didn't have yet that it's gonna. The Gemara said it can't be to do the same thing twice because it doesn't say the same word twice. So it can't be, let's say, that one Kohen would do it in two Gizrei. So I jumped before when I said maybe in the morning one Kohen should do two logs, and then again a Kohen should do two logs. How do you know that it means that it's two separate things? One is one Kohen, one is two Kohen, and one is the morning, one is the afternoon. So the Gemara says that's the kasha now. Even if it says you answered that it says ubia ubia, it should have said ubia ubia. It should have said both on the same term. And here it says ubia and bo'archu. So maybe the navid chad, the navid trey. Maybe the fact that one time it says in singular, one time it says in plural. So maybe it's true. You have to have one Kohen, then you have to have two Kohenim, but maybe everything's in the morning. This is what the Gemara is asking the kasha. Maybe the navid chad, the navid trey. Maybe that everything's in the morning. First one Kohen does two logs, and then two Kohenim do two logs. But the Gemara says no. That still doesn't answer my kasha. In name of ubiyar ubiyaru, or inami you should have said varach v'archu. It's true. If it just meant to say that a one and a two, one Kohen and two Kohen, and then it could have still kept to the same word, but just say one singular and one plural. So it should have said, one pasuk should have said ubiyar, another pasuk said ubiyaru, singular and plural. Or you want to use the word orach, it should have said orach and then orchu. Then it would have meant in the morning you should have one Kohen doing two logs and then two Kohen doing two logs. One going, yeah. But the fact that it says my ubiyar v'orchu, why did the pasuk change not only from singular to plural, also the whole different word is different. One is ubiyar and one is v'orchu. It must be to tell you that's two different times, two different things. One is in the morning, one is in the afternoon. Shmamina kiddukamina. So it must be like we said that one is in the morning you do one Kohen with two logs, and in the afternoon you do two Kohen with two logs. So that's how we learned out. So we had two things to learn out. We learned out everything. And let's take off this that we learned that two things, that in the afternoon, first of all, that there is such a thing as burning new wood on the Mizbeach in the afternoon. That's from the pasuk in Vayikra, and also the fact that it changed the term from singular to plural is that it's two Kohanim. One is the fact that it changed the word. That's how come we know that it's not the same standing. It's not in the morning, it's in the afternoon. And the fact that it's said in the plural, that shows that it's two Kohanim. And that's what we do. In the morning, the Trumas Hadeshin man is the one who does the Bnei Gizri Eitzim, and in the afternoon there are two Kohanim that do it. And the Mishnah before said that that's the case in every afternoon. You can have 11 people bringing things to the Mizbeach, 9 that bring the Korban, and the Minchas Nesachim, the Chavitin, and also 2 more people that are going to bring the Bnei Gizri Eitzim. A few more lines. Tani Rabbi Chia, how many people win in the Payis Hasheni? That's the first pshat of the Gemara. That the Payis Hasheni, we said before, that Shlosha Esrei Kohanim Zochen Bo. That the person who won in the second Payis, so he, together with another 12 people, Mishochet, Mizorek, the whole Mishnah we had before, the whole list, Mishochet, Mizorek, Mimedashin HaMazbech, Mimedashin HaMenorah, and then who takes up all the Vorim, the Ukitz Rosh Varega, all that, and then at the end it says the Solas, Chavit, and Yan, altogether was 13. Sometimes 14 people win in that goal, sometimes 15, sometimes 16. And what's that? It's very simple. Whatever our Mishnah said, that sometimes you have more people besides the 9. And the Mishnah was not counting the original 4. It said the first 4 is not part of that Krovas HaTamid because it was Mishochet, Mizorek, Mi Medashin, Esam Mizbech, Mi Medashin, Esam Menorah. So that was 13, take away the 4 was 9. But now, if you want to count, including the 4, so when you have a regular 9, it's really 13. And the same way our Mishnah says, sometimes you'll have 9, 10, 11, 12. If you count the first 4 of the Mishnah, Shochet, Zorek, Medashin, Mizbech, Medashin, Esam Menorah, so you'll have, instead of having 13, you'll have, instead of having 9, 10, 11, 12, we'll count another 4 for each one. So it'll be 13, 14, 15, 16. That's all the Gemara means to say, that based on our Mishnah, sometimes it's 15. That's going to be, if you have every afternoon or every Shabbos morning, you'll have 15. Sometimes 16, that's the maximum. It's going to be Shabbos Shabbat Chag. So besides the regular 13, you have two people that are Zocha also for Shnei B'zichei Levona and also for the Slocha Shamayim. So we didn't do anything yet. We just inserted these 3 extra that we don't in our Mishnah, that also they're the ones who won in the Payas Hasheni, instead of 13 people winning, 14 or 15 or 16 people. Then the Kasha is Vatanya Yud Zayin. There's a Brisa that says 17. How do you ever get 17? That's a Kasha. How do you ever have 17 that are being Zoch in the Payas? The more answers, now this here is a little confusing, but we'll say a pshat that makes it very simple. The Gemara answers, Ahid the Lok Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, Elok Rabbi Yehuda. So we know the information of Elazar ben Yaakov and Rabbi Yehuda already. Elazar ben Yaakov was the one who said that they didn't make a Payas Revi for who were taking it the second half. That's the same people who did the first half did the second half. Rabbi Yehuda was the one who said that there was no Payas for the Machta, the assistant of the one who did the Torahs. The one who did the Torahs, he tells to his friend, come with me. And here the Gemara says, how do you get 17? So the words are the Lok Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, not like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, but rather like our Mishnah that says that there was somebody else who brought up the Evarim from the halfway mark to the top, and Elok Rabbi Yehuda. So Elok Rabbi Yehuda means, like Rabbi Yehuda says, that there was no assistant. Right, there was no assistant for the Torahs, but there was a person like our Mishnah that brought it to the second half. So Rashi learns that the Mishnah is counting, the Brisa is counting 17 is the first, everything we counted till now. Is that true? Let me discuss the second what Rashi says. That we're adding on to the Payas Revi. We're adding on that we said that so far 16. Whatever we said 16, if you add on the Mishnah of the Payas Revi, so you'll have another 17th one. I think as Rashi says, it sounds pretty dachuk because we're not counting other ones. If Torah don't count, it means in the Payas Hasheni, the maximum is going to be 16. That's what we said before. That's true, Shabbos Shabbat Chag. But don't forget that there's a Payas Revi that is the one who's going to bring, according to Rashi again, Rashi pointed out, it's not 9 people that got the Payas Revi to bring the second half. One person goes back and forth. He's the one who brings everything up to the Mizbeach. So that's one more. So if you hold like that, we'll say that there's one more. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says it was not that one more. Rashi seems to be pretty dochak.
But Yaakov still said, but it was his assistant.
So why not say the assistant also?
Right.
Why do we game saying this way or that way?
Right.
I didn't look into Rashi well enough. Because I see that there's an easy shot. Let's say easy shot. I didn't see all the details, but Taisva says that Rashi is the one who changed the girsa. If you look at Rashi also, he says the way to be go Hachigar Sinan. Rashi changes the girsa that it says Elok Rabbi Yehuda. Means that originally in our Gemara, if you see that it says Elok Rabbi Yehuda, Rashi changed that. Rashi made the change,
Right.
And the 3 words before the end of the Gemara. So really, the original gersa was the Lok Rabbi Yehuda. Ahid the Lok Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov with the Lok Rabbi Yehuda. If you look at the top Taisva says that the original gersa was not like Rashi. The top Taisva says Ahid the Lok Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov with the Lok Rabbi Yehuda, and he says Kachi gersa b'cholas form. Rashi changed it. Rashi changed it to Ella, and Taisva would like to explain the old gersa. So I think the Taisva's shot is very simple. I didn't pay enough attention to Rashi's gersa, but Taisva's gersa makes it very simple. He says Tanya, it's 17, so he says a shot like this. That when it says 17, it's not just counting the Payas Hasheni, which is 13, and you get 14, 15, 16. It doesn't mean that. It means that if you count all the winners in all the 4 Payasos, if you count everything, so then you have Trumas Sedeshin is 1. On a regular day, nothing to do these fancy days, not Sukkot, not Shabbos. It's on a regular day, so 13. Plus the Trumas Sedeshin was the first one, is 14. And the Payas Hashlishi was Chadashim Lektoris, but the Lok Rabbi Yehuda, count for the assistant also. So you have already 1 plus 13 was 14, plus another 2 is 16, and plus the Payas Revi, like the Lok Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, but the Payas Revi also includes the 4th one.
So the assistant is going to make the difference.
The assistant and also, right, and also the 4th one we're using. So add on one more. So till now we were counting 13, 14, 15, 16. We're not counting all the Payas. We're counting only in the Payas Hasheni, only in the second Payas, plus all these exceptional cases about Sukkot with the Mayim and Shabbos or the Shnei Gizrei Eitzim. But now we're not counting that. We're going back to the regular 13. the regular 13, plus not only the Pais Hasheni, which is 13, count also the first Pais, the third Pais, the fourth, all the Pais together. How many winners do you get on a regular day? So the Lo Krab Eliezer ben Yaakov, with the Lo Krab Yehuda, you're going to get 17. We add on one more, means the Trumas Session is 1, the Pais Hasheni is 13, the Pais Hashlishi is going to be 2, not like Rabbi Yehuda, but 2 you can have for the Ketores and also for the Machta. So that's going to be already 16, and plus the Pais Arvi, Mimala, and again, Mimala means one person, the same as Rashi, that one person brought everything up from the midway point till the Mizbeach. That's how you get 17. So, yeah, and is that good? And
Right, so then it could come out to Rabbi Yehuda.
no, Rabbi Yehuda is the one who says that Rabbi Yehuda is the one who says that the Machta, the assistant, didn't get a special, he won automatically. He didn't make.
But then we're coming up with 17, so then it's like, then it could be like Rabbi Yehuda. So
No,
what's the
again,
same?
no, it's look Rabbi Yehuda. How do you get 17? How do you get?
No, okay, so then it could be like Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov.
But Yaakov says that there was no one for the same people who brought it halfway, brought it to the rest also. How are you going to get 17?
So they don't have the
You
have
have
the
to have-
one. So he doesn't have the one, and Rabbi Yehuda doesn't have the system. Obviously, that's what
But we want to get,
that's
yes,
the
we do want to get one extra one.
Right.
Because we have, if you count the Mishnah the way we have it, without the whole Gemara, how many people win in the 4 payasas altogether? How would we say? We would say 1 Trumas Adeshen plus 13 plus 1 plus 1.
Okay,
That would only be 16.
right.
But in order to say that there's 17, we have to say the Lo Krab Yehuda and the Lo Krab Eliezer ben Yaakov. That we hold, not the Krab Eliezer ben Yaakov, but like our Mishnah, that there's a person who brings up everything from the midway point that brings it up to the top. Not the same people do it again.
Oh.
And also that there's a person who wins by the Lo Krab Yehuda. He says that the assistant automatically gets, the one who won the Torah
Right.
says whoever he wants. So he says no, that there was another pious for the assistant, and that's why it's going to be 17. Just see the Tosfos over here. Just to see the words on the Tosfos, on the third line of Tosfos. Nearly the Farish for Tanya Yud Zayin is a price that says 17. Pirish B'chol Boker Yud Zayin the Chalapachas, that every morning has 17 people winners. That means you're counting all the kohanim of all the, not one pious that somebody won 13. You're counting all the winners. That 13 people won in the second pious, and one person won for the that was the first pious, and which was the fourth pious, and Trey Dictorus with the Machta, and 2 Dictorus and also the assistant Arayat Zion. Behind it, the Lo Krab Eliezer ben Yaakov, the Lo Krab Yehuda. The Lo Eliezer ben Yaakov, you're missing the one of the Ivar and Lekevesh. Well, Rabbi Yehuda, you're missing the one of the Machta.
Oh, okay.
So that's a nice girsa, nice way to explain the girsa that we had.
Right.
And the other girsos are to explain different ways. But this was Taisus Pshat to explain the girsa. As far as the halacha goes of today's Gemara, what do we have? Which halacha do we have to talk about? Chadashim Lektoros, that's how we paskin. And what did the Gemara say? It brings wealth. We had machlokas if the Korban also brings wealth or not. After that, the Gemara said that the poskim are going to come from Shevet Levi or Shevet Yisachar. Yehuda is paskins, but maybe not leave it the Ochasa. We pass like Rabbi Yochanan that they don't make the pious only for the morning, and automatically they do it also in the Talmud Shel Bein Arbayim. I'm not sure why my thing is not moving. Okay, my screen is not moving, but just okay. I'll say the rest outside already. And comes out on Shabbos, you do have to make 2 payasas again because it's a new mishmar, the changing of the guard, you have to do it again. The Ketores and the Gemara is not muchach if you make another Ketores for the afternoon, but the Rambam says you do every day, you have another payas, and the payas Ashlishi, you'll do 2 times, one for the morning, one for the afternoon. You don't do, the same person shouldn't do it twice. The Gemara brings up Eliezer ben Yaakov that argues on our Mishnah and says that same people who brought it halfway bring it all the way to the top in order that it shouldn't look like a tircha, but we pass like the Rabbanan. Even in such a case, it does show honor of Hashem that other people want to do it also. That just reminds me a little bit by the Bris Milah, they make a cheker, and each person takes it another step. It's very similar to this. But Eliezer ben Yaakov would say, it looks like you don't want to do the mitzvah. It looks like it's too heavy for you, a burden. But we pass like the Rabbanan, that more people are mishtatek, even though people stop halfway, or it happens by a funeral, it shouldn't happen anymore, that people want to take all to be mechabe. It doesn't, not that we don't say that it looks like a tircha, the people who stop doing it. After that, the Gemara says there might be a time that holds of everybody, of the Lo Krab Yehuda, the Lo Krab Eliezer, that'll be 5. Like the Gemara says at the end over here, there might be a time that says 17, means we found, according to the Shah we just said, we did find this time that says 5. He doesn't say 5, he says 17, but he's counting all of them together. So there is a possibility somebody holds there's a special bias for the one who gets the machta. And then the Gemara said that on a standard day you'll have 9, sometimes 10, 11, 12. And the point is that every day in the afternoon you also had for the Shnei Gizrei Eitzim, and that's a chiddush that they have Shnei Gizrei Eitzim with two kohanim in the afternoon. In the morning, one to one and got Trumas Hadeshen, and on Sukkot, you had Slocha Shemaim in the morning only, not in the afternoon. There wasn't Nis Chamaim in the afternoon, and that's why the case over there, Dafka emphasized the point to Esrog Geyan, that it was in the morning. And on Shabbos is also Shnei B'Zichel Levona in the morning, and the maximum you could have is on Shabbos of Sukkot. In the morning, you'll have Shnei B'Zichel Levona and also the Slocha Shemaim. And the last Gemara, the drushes for the Shnei Gizreisim was Ubier and Baruchu in the morning. One Kohen does two Gizreisim in the afternoon. Two Kohanim do it. And the last Gemara said the only chiddush came out was the Yud Zayin. It comes out according to Taisus' Pshat that there is a Tana that says that there's a Kohen for the Machta, the assistant, and there's also a Kohen for taking up the Yivam to the top. It comes out according to both Rashi and Taisus. The fourth pies with one person. It comes out a big chiddush that one person is the one who brought everything up to the and just to point out that Taisus Shanim argues in that. He says the Mishnah is I didn't say anybody argues, but it comes out Taisus Shanim argues and says that the Mishnah is in Tamar Mashma that you had also 9 people taking it up. Not that you only had one person. According to Rashi and Taisus, it comes out that one person is the one who took everything up, to mark everything from midway until the fire. But Taisus Shanim says no, that's not the pshat, and he's going to have different pshat than Gemara over here. But he says that 9 people brought it up from the midway till the top of the mizbeh. Thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you.
Rebbe, could you?
Yes, please.
Could you please read it through the counting and the Mishnah again from Ketzad, just for me to get the punctuation?
I'll try to put it up again. Ketzad, how is that? Asmo B'Tisha. On a regular day, the carbon itself is 9. The carbon itself is 9 people. That's what we saw the Mishnah before. Kama. And then the Chag, the Yad Echas Locha Shel Mayim, Arekan Asara. On Sukkot, one person has also the
Chag, Biyad Achad. What is it? During a Chag, Biyad Achad. What does that mean?
The hand of one person is a jug of water. The person and the extra person to carry the jug of water. Arekan Asara. So that's 10. Every afternoon is 11 people. Why is that? Because who asmo b'tisha, that carbon itself takes up 9 people, and then shnayim b'yadam shnei gizreitzim, and 2 people are carrying 2 logs.
Okay.
So that comes out 11. And then the Shabbos b'achadasar, and every Shabbos also is 11 people. Shabbos morning, every day in the afternoon is 11, but Shabbos morning is also 11. Why is that? Who asmo b'tisha, the carbon itself takes up 9 people. And then 2 people are carrying 2 cups of levona, one cup of the lechem apanim, the cups of levona. And that's going to be 12. The maximum is 12 on Shabbos of Sukkot. That besides what we just said a second ago, that you have you also have one person has in his hand a jug of water.
Okay, thank you very much.
The 10 to 11 is only on Fridays, or that's every day?
Yeah, only on Friday.
No.
Only on Friday.
Okay.
It's going to be 11. Are we changing it to 10 to 11 now?
Yes, you were here today, right? You were here early, right? That's what you had. Yeah, so that was.
I guess while the wife is away, when she comes back after Shavuos,
okay.
then it can go back.
Okay.
On Shavuos, can we learn? I know this doesn't help Dr.